Hi everyone, Manga here. I'm a 2D artist and illustrator by trade, but lately I've been in a creative rut, so I decided to learn game development instead. And I am here again to give you guys an update on my progress and whether I was able to meet my weekly goal, which was to finish my small romance slash slice of life visual novel, a mix of dating sim and visual novel. And the answer is yes. I was able to finish what was left in the 2 weeks time that I gave myself and call the game quote unquote done so I can move on to the next project. Alrighty, let me quickly show you what all I did this week because we have a lot to cover. So I finished the intro where Maddox, the male protagonist, is in his car and he is going or on his way to pick up Anna. We see his own internal monologue as he drives towards the bus stop where Anna is waiting for him. So I was able to finish this up rather quickly. The dialogues just came naturally and it wasn't that difficult. Next, we have Anna waiting for Maddox at the bus stop, and we go through her own internal monologue as well before, she gets picked up by Maddox. And same thing here as well. The internal monologue was pretty easy to write up, and just all in all, not that difficult. Then we have Maddox pick her up and they head over to the restaurant. This whole section from the start was what was missing in my first video, because when I initially started making the game, I started from the entrance of the restaurant here. I'll try and show a screenshot or a video of it if I have it. And so I started from like the middle of the story, and now I've been able to really start from the beginning of the story and catch up to where I've initially started. I've already shown the restaurant scene, like the moment they both go in, what they're supposed to do and all like that, the gameplay in my previous devlog, so I won't go through that again. And then lastly, we have the ending here. It's basically more dialogue between the two characters and just them going through their lunch date. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's a very small game, and it was just a way for me to dip my toe into game development and get a feel of it. It's been really enjoyable, and RPG Maker, I think, played a big role in that, because the game engine is rather easy to just make a game, and because of that ease of use, it has its own rigidity as well. Now, I also thought I'd share some of my struggles I faced while I was learning and making Seasons of Us, which is the name of the game. So while making this quest event of talking to the receptionist inside the restaurant, I believe I showed this in the first devlog, I found it really difficult to make this like a one-time event that triggers only you once. This was the first major event that I needed to make, because I started from this bit, which I already mentioned earlier, and trying to figure out which of the options from the event menu would make this trigger only once was really hard, but I, you know, much like everyone else, scoured the internet, and once I figured it out, I was really proud of myself. It was a good pat yourself in the back moment. And then we have my next hurdle was a major mechanic that I needed to implement, and that was adding a vehicle that the player could interact with and drive. My initial problem was that in the game assets, like the in-game assets had like 21st, there were no, modern cars. It was either a ship, an airship, or a futuristic hovering car. So again, I went looking into the internet in the hopes of finding a solution to find a way to make this futuristic car move on land like a normal car, as I didn't want to download any additional assets. I just wanted to work on the in-game assets that were available, and I didn't want to make or download assets, because my goal has been to learn like proper game development side, the coding, the game design side. And so I found this Reddit post with so the Reddit post had a similar problem as mine, and as I was reading through the comments, I found a comment that I thought was the answer to my problem. It basically said to make a plugin that enabled the car to travel on certain specific tiles only. And I was excited to see this, to try and implement and see if this worked, because it also made me not just make like my own plugin, but it made me use a plugin as well, which was a goal of mine. And sadly, this didn't work out, and I had to find another workaround, which was to change the player's avatar to that of the car itself, and like make it into a scene that in place of the character, the main character, it would be replaced by the car in the cutscene. So that's what I decided to go with. It was easier, and yeah, it came with its own hurdles as well. For example, I had to fade in and fade out transitions where I had to change from the car to the characters, because I couldn't show them literally getting in and out of the car, because the car itself is the character. Next was the making and like triggering this event here, where Maddox picks up Anna from the bus stop, and creating the event itself was easy. What was difficult was making Anna disappear from the event after the event triggers, because she's supposed to enter the car. And so this was honestly really frustrating, and it took me more than I think an hour to come up with the right commands in the event menu, but I'm glad I was able to fix this as well. So yeah, I struggled with this for, like I said, for an hour, trying to come up with a way to just make her disappear completely. Lastly, like I said in one of my previous points here, I wanted to add a plugin into my game to see how easy or difficult it was to add and implement plugins. And I found the perfect one. A custom quest plugin that enabled me to add custom quests and tips to show like on this floating quest marker on the upper left hand corner of the game, that the player could read to know where or what they had to go or what they had to do next. So figuring out how the plugin worked was also pretty frustrating, because the tutorial, or the page where I got this from, which was from HIO itself, it was pretty difficult to like try and figure out how it worked, because especially for someone with no prior coding experience and also first time using RPG Maker. But once I figured it out, then it was okay. Like, I wouldn't say it was easy. Like, it's not. Yeah, I think this is one of the limitations of RPG Maker as well. But yeah, I got it working, and there'll always be this floating quest mark on the upper left hand corner, which you can see throughout the game to help you know where you need to go next and what you need to do. So yeah, I think that's it. These were all the struggles that I went through while making Seasons of Us. I learned a lot from it. Just the process of seeing and knowing how game development works, even if it's just a tiny little bit. So yeah, I have uploaded this game that I've finished on my itch.io page. Not because I think this is going to be like a hit game, because it's not. It's your run-of-the-mill generic dating sim visual novel made with generic assets included in the game engine, and that too like a very short one. I think you can play this in like 10 minutes or something like that. But yeah, this was rather for me to use as a stepping stone, and for future me to look back on whenever I feel like giving up. So I've quickly set up my itch page, and I'll make it look good down the line. But yeah, I've added all the necessary cover image and screenshots and all that. And so yeah, and I've added the game as well, and it seems to be working. So if you want to try it out, there will be links in the description. So, and yeah, you can play the game there. I've been thinking of setting up a Tumblr blog as well, and I've never used Tumblr before, so I need to look into that as well. And I'm hoping to post the written version of my devlogs there to hopefully get more eyes on the games that I'll be making in the future. And so yeah, again, like I said, uploading this on itch is like the equivalent of me using a new sketchbook, and this is like me filling up the first page of a brand new sketchbook, the bare bones of game development, and my first step into this new adventure that I'm taking. My next step will probably be to finish this online tutorial that I bought over on Udemy. It's for Godot, the Godot engine, and so I'll make an update video regarding my progress with this as well in my next video. And I think I'll be focused on this for maybe the month of May. And yeah, I'll take my own time because I'm working as well, full-time job. Outside of this is just like a hobby. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, let me know what creative projects you're working on, and subscribe to get updates on my game dev journey. Cheers.